Have you ever noticed that even the nutrition experts don't seem to agree on what a healthy diet actually looks like? Hi, if you're new here and you don't know me, I'm Mary, and I am a Master Certified Primal Health Coach, and I believe there's a lot of confusion and a lot of fear around holistic health and nutrition. So I'm here to explore the options, look at the evidence, and help you make sense of the information so you can decide what works for your body. So one of the easiest ways to begin to understand those differences in dietary approaches is where they fall on the carbohydrate spectrum. So many popular dietary approaches, including the standard American diet, a vegetarian, vegan, whole food, plant-based, and DASH, all fall on the higher carbohydrate end of the spectrum. And though they're often grouped together, they're actually quite different. Of course, the standard American diet is typically high in ultra-processed foods, refined grains, added sugars, industrial seed oils, and convenient foods. Vegetarian diet eliminates meat, might include dairy and eggs, and depending on the food someone chooses, can range from highly processed to minimally processed. And a vegan diet, of course, eliminates all animal products and relies entirely on plant foods for nutrition. And a whole food, plant-based diet also centers on plant foods, but places a much greater emphasis on foods in their natural form, minimally processed, while limiting added oils. And a DASH diet, originally developed to lower blood pressure, emphasizes fruits, vegetables, whole grains, low-fat dairy, lean proteins, and limits sodium. So while these approaches differ in the foods that they encourage, they all rely primarily on carbohydrates to fuel the body. That doesn't necessarily mean that they all contain the same amount of carbohydrates, but compared to lower carbohydrate and ketogenic approaches, carbohydrates remain the dominant source of energy. And that's why I want to start here, because before we can compare dietary approaches, we need to first understand where they all fit on this carbohydrate spectrum. So every one of these approaches that I've just talked about has a different philosophy, different food choices, and different goals. Understanding the type and quality of carbohydrates each approach relies on to nourish and fuel the body is what provides an important foundation for comparing them with lower carbohydrate approaches. The goal isn't simply to know what these diets are, but also to understand how and why they differ and why those differences will matter to you. I'd love to know what you think, so let me know in the comments. And as always, thank you for being here.